20 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitchers falling down the rankings this week. The first guy is German Marquez of the Colorado Rockies. So Marquez, he got off to a great start the first few months of the season, but now he's really been struggling over the last few weeks and pitching in a tough division like the NL West. And obviously, Coors Field, your numbers are definitely going to go down and take a hit. So on the season for Marquez, 150 innings, 11-9 record, 127 hits, 67 runs, 15 homers, 52 walks, 154 strikeouts, 4.02 ERA, a 1.19 whip, and 16 quality starts on the season. So right there, those are obviously great numbers, no doubt about it, on the season for Marquez, especially in Coors Field. But the last couple weeks here, only 9 1/3, 1-0 record, 12 hits, 8 runs, 3 homers given up, a walk, 7 Ks, a 7.71 ERA, and a 1.39 whip with 1 quality start in the time here for Marquez. So the last few outings for him, August 12th at San Francisco, 4 innings, got the loss, 7 hits, 7 runs, a homer, 2 walks, 6 Ks, a 15.75 ERA, 2.25 whip. August 17th versus the Padres, 6 1/3, got the win, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 homers, a walk, 4 Ks, a 4.26 ERA, 0.95 whip, and a quality start. And August 25th versus a bad Chicago Cub team, 3 innings, no decisions, 7 hits, 5 runs, 3 Ks, a 15 ERA, and a 2.33 whip. So with fantasy playoffs coming up in the next week or two here, it's very concerning if I'm a Marquez owner. He's definitely been struggling over the last couple weeks, and he might just be hitting the wall. And plus, tough division and Coors Field is definitely playing a factor, in my opinion. The next pitcher that's falling this week's Yoshi Kakuchi of the Seattle Mariners. So Kikuchi here, he got off to a good start early in the year as well, but the last few weeks here, it's definitely been a struggle here for Kikuchi. On the season, 7-7 record, 137 1/3 innings, 121 hits, 66 runs, 26 homers, 51 walks, 145 strikeouts, 4.33 ERA, a 1.25 whip, and 13 quality starts on the season. But the last couple weeks here for Kikuchi, 12 innings, 0-1 record, 16 hits, 14 runs, 4 homers, 8 walks, 10 Ks, a 10.50 ERA, and a 2 whip. So right there, those numbers aren't going to get the job done. And he's just struggling mightily now over the last month or two here is Kikuchi. August 14th versus Toronto, 4 1/3, no decision, 5 hits, 3 runs, a homer, 4 walks, 5 Ks, a 6.23 ERA, 2.08 whip. August 20th at Houston, 2 2/3, got the loss, 7 hits, 7 runs, 3 homers, 3 walks, 3 Ks, a 23.63 ERA, and a 3.75 whip. And August 26th versus the Royals, 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, no decision, 1 walk, 3 Ks, a 7.20 ERA, and a 1 whip. So right here, he's definitely struggling right now as Kikuchi. He don't play in the toughest of divisions, but right now he's definitely hitting a wall, and he's a pitcher falling this week. The next pitcher is his teammate, Logan Gilbert of the Seattle Mariners. So Gilbert, one of the top prospects in baseball coming up. Guy, he's been struggling mightily, and he's definitely hitting the rookie wall, in my opinion. On the season, 82 innings, 5-5 record, 77 hits, 47 runs, 12 homers, 19 walks, 92 strikeouts, a 5.16 ERA, 1.17 whip, and 4 quality starts on the season. But the last couple weeks here, he's been a pinata. He's been hit like 8 2/3, 0-2 record, 16 hits, 14 runs, 4 homers, a walk, 8 Ks, a 14.54 ERA, and a 1.96 whip here for Gilbert. So he's definitely struggling. And like I've been mentioning in other videos, these rookies who are pitching deep into the season. Last year there was no minor league system to pitch baseball, obviously with the pandemic. And right now it's definitely showing with Gilbert, in my opinion. His last few outings, August 10th versus Texas, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, a homer, 5 Ks, a 3 ERA, 0.83 whip, and a quality start. August 15th versus the Blue Jays, 4 innings, got the loss, 8 hits, 5 runs, 2 homers, 3 Ks, 11.25 ERA, a 2 whip. And August 21st at Houston, 4 2/3, got the loss, 8 hits, 9 runs, 2 homers, a walk, 5 Ks, a 17.36 ERA, and a 1.93 whip. So his next outings tonight versus the Kansas City Royals. And we'll see if he could do anything good here as Gilbert. Go deep into games, get a quality start, and possibly even a win. But right now, he's definitely been struggling, and fantasy owners have paid attention to it as well, dropping him in 7% of fantasy leagues. And he's definitely a pitcher falling this week. The next pitcher is Kimble of the Chicago White Sox. Kimbrough, I know he got traded from the Cubs to the White Sox last month at the trade deadline, and obviously he's taking a hit here for fantasy owners. He's getting saved some nights, and some nights Hendricks is coming in for saves. So on the season for Kimbrough, 47 innings, 2-4 record, 24 saves, 23 hits, 8 runs, 3 homers, 16 walks, 79 strikeouts, 1.53 ERA, and a 0.83 WHIP on the season. So very great numbers, no doubt about it for Kimbrough. But the last couple weeks now, 4 2/3, 0-1 record, 1 save, 5 hits, 3 runs, a homer, 2 walks, 8 Ks, a 5.79 ERA, and a 1.50. And we'll go deeper into the stats. The last month since he got traded to the White Sox, 10 1/3, 0-1 record, 1 save, 10 hits, 6 runs, 2 homers, 3 walks, 15 Ks, a 5.23 ERA, and a 1.26 WHIP. So right now, Kimbrough, he's not doing well the last month since he got traded. And right now, he's not the definite and permanent closer over there in Chicago. So right now, I wouldn't drop him off my team, but he's a guy I definitely don't have confidence in right now. And he's definitely a pitcher falling this week. And the 5th and final pitcher falling is Sean Manaya of the Oakland Athletics. So Manaya, he got off to a great start the first 2 or 3 months of the season. And like most of these guys on the list, they were good ball players for fantasy owners most of the season, but right now they're definitely struggling. They're definitely not going deep into ball games, and they've been hit hard over the last few weeks. On the season for Manaya, 138 1/3, 8-8 record, 135 hits, 58 runs, 19 homers, 36 walks, 151 strikeouts, a 3.77 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, and 12 quality starts on the season. So right there, as a whole, his numbers are solid this year. But in the last couple weeks, 9 2/3, 0-1 record, 11 hits, 9 runs, 4 homers, 4 walks, 8 Ks, an 8.38 ERA, and a 1.55 WHIP. So right here, he's been hit hard over the last couple weeks. And even the last month here, Manaya's got a 7.06 ERA. And fantasy owners, they've dropped him in 4% of fantasy leagues this week. So the last few outings here for Manaya, August 10th at the Indians, 1 2/3. 5 hits, no decision, 3 runs, 3 walks, 2 Ks, a 16.20 ERA, a 4.80 WHIP. August 15th at Texas, 5 innings, got the loss, 7 hits, 7 runs, 3 homers, a walk, 5 Ks, a 12.60 ERA, a 1.60 WHIP. And August 21st versus the Giants, 4 2/3, no decision, 4 hits, 2 runs, a homer, 3 walks, 3 Ks, a 3.86 ERA, and a 1.5 WHIPs, at least in his latest outing. He totally didn't get wrecked, but he only won in that ball game 4 2/3 as well. And tonight's going to be a tough ball game here for Manaya. He's obviously got to verse a tough New York Yankee team that have been one of the hottest teams in all of Major League Baseball. And we'll see what he can do tonight, but that's a few pitchers falling down the rankings here in Week 20 of the fantasy baseball season.